If it hurts, game breaks, we'll get you, know it up, put on more steam. Protect our kickers, our quarterback, our lead, our ball game. All obstacles, lock cutter sides, through the games after this win in. First you again, we're for the first man. Can everybody keep it there for 6 minutes?
Rocky Top, you'll always be.
Doesn't have to be perfect, ain't gonna be perfect. We go compete for 60 freaking minutes. All right, enjoy the opportunity, enjoy the environment, and then go play our butts off, play for one another, and have a hell of a lot of fun. Everybody got me?
Yes,
all right.
I don't know. Truly, like, I don't know how I could answer that because I don't know what it would take. Really, I don't know what it would be until I feel accomplished. If we win that natty, when we win that natty, then I'll say, like, my story's been good.
Man, we blessed to do this. We blessed to wake up. We blessed to be standing by each other. We cannot take these opportunities for granted. There's people that wish they'll be doing what we was doing. There's people that call us crazy for doing what we do. But they don't understand. Every time we touch this grass, it's a certain mentality you gotta have. And you can't just turn it on. We gotta wake up with it. We gotta train it. We ought to make each other better. I need you. I need you.
Well, I mean, obviously, we've spent, 4 years, trying to change the culture, trying to instill in these young men how blessed they are, to have an opportunity to play somewhere like the University of Tennessee, and what an honor it is to have that T on the side of your helmet, and that we're always playing for something bigger than us individually.
Make the decision. You're either a Vol or you're not, through thick and thin.
But you know what? Let's talk a little Vols. That is not me trying to take any shine away from the phenomenal channel Talkin VAWLS and my guy Boogie Bentley runs. So shout out to them. But let's talk a little Vols here.
Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name's Boogie Bentley. The bat signal went up. Foul Ming is here. Coach Jay is in the air. Coach Jay is in the air en route to Knoxville for the orange and white game. Man, oh man, we should. I said it in the video. You know, there's a lot going on. Foul Ming. When I drop a video and like an hour later, I'm like, we got to go live. We have to get on the air now.
I was in a dead panic. I'm running around the house. I'm like throwing stuff together. I'm like, we got to get this thing. I don't know if you call it resolved. I don't know if you call it updated. I don't know what you call it. I'm all over the place right now. I'm on Twitter. Things are wild. Let's talk about it.
That's what we have to do. And that's why very rarely we don't do these impromptu like short notice live streams very often, but I feel like there is so much going on. There's so much being talked about on Twitter. There's so much being talked about on the General's quarters over at VolQuest. So it is an impromptu stream. So that means we need you guys in the chat to help us out. Share it out. Let people know that we're live. Let people know that we're going to talk about it. Smash the thumbs up. We would appreciate that. We got a new member of the channel, Aquatic X Ghost becomes a member. Shout out Aquatic X, becomes a member of Talkin VAWLS Gold. You can join the channel with that join button down below. I say it all the time that the members are why I get to do this full time. It's why that this is my job. Because you guys support the channel and I get it. Like, who cares? I don't care that Boogie gets to do this full time. Because I get to do it full time, I can jump on short notice and do a live stream in the middle of the freaking day. So shout out to the members. You want to continue to support the channel, we would greatly, greatly appreciate it. Let's see what you guys are saying. Mrs. Terry's Bathwater, that's an interesting name. I need to know if the sky is falling. Let me say this. A lot has changed in the last 24 hours. A lot has changed since last night's live stream. A lot has changed since I dropped the video, 2 hours ago? I don't know if the sky's falling, but I'm starting to be afraid of the sky falling. Let's just say that. Shane says, what in the heck is going on? We're going to talk about it. Mr. O'Neill is here saying Nico's dad wants $4 million. The ball club is saying no. We're going to talk about the money here in just a second. Stephen Power says, I just feel like this is a big misunderstanding. Stephen, that's how I felt last night. Like, do you not feel different now than we felt last night?
I feel different now than I did 30 minutes ago. Last night, for a half a second last night, I worried just a little, and then I settled right in. I thought we were fine. Went to bed thinking we're fine. Woke up this morning. I see Nico's crew just dunking on Pete. I thought, okay, we're solid, we're good. Score one for the good guys. And then I start seeing a few comments, and I start seeing, I see Ari's thing going on, like, hey, this did happen. I know he's going to bat for his boy, but like, this did happen. And then now I'm like, well, maybe they're just trying to defend him, trying to defend Nakos, right? But now you got me curious.
Yeah, I guess maybe
I'm about to just buckle up, Boog. I'm about to just buckle in.
So
the sky is falling.
Well, again, I'm starting to watch to see if the sky is maybe falling. Shout out to Caveman Boy, member for 7 months. What time is the Orange and White game? I think kickoff is 2 o'clock. Parking opens at 7. We're going to be in G10 parking garage, hopefully bright and early. We're going to go out and have a good time tonight. I'm excited about hanging out with the boys tonight, Calhoun's, maybe some steaks, maybe some drinks. And then we'll be there bright and early as we can be there tomorrow. So let's rewind. Let's kind of walk you guys through it. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time talking about this, but this is what started it last night. This is what we talked about. This is what the stream was about. Pete Nakos puts out that Tennessee and Nico are in active contract negotiations. He goes on to say it's unclear if the negotiations will impact whether or not he enters the portal. So this was the whole conversation last night. So when you provide me with this evidence, and then I go take a look at the article, and the next statement in the article is that Nico, and he's happy at Tennessee. He's got a strong relationship with Josh Heupel, and the Vols are trying to finalize a deal. Now, what we talked about last night, Nico didn't re-sign a deal. There was no deal back in December, right? That didn't happen. So it's not like he's pulling a Ricky Gibson here. But now as more information starts to come out, it almost seems to me like they were trying to get the deal done back in December, but it didn't happen. So it just kind of got swept under the rug. And now here we sit right before the Orange and White game, and we still don't have a deal in place. So let's take the next step, right? That's Pete Nakos putting it out. That's Pete Nakos talking about it, the contract negotiations. What you mentioned, Foul Ming, was this from Nico's dad, saying more games being played off the field than on, calls Pete Nakos a certain word or two, says that On3 called and asked him directly. I told him I had no idea what he's talking about. He said close source that he trusts with his life from the university staff gave him this. Any thoughts on that you want to expand on? Or let me go to the next piece of business. That'll probably be the best thing to continue to tell the story. And again, guys, bear with us because there's no prepping. We just jumped on because we thought you guys would want to talk about it. This Foul Ming is where I started to get a little bit nervous. So Pete Thamel puts out that Nico did not attend spring practice today. Been in conversations with Tennessee about a new contract. The no-show of practice came as a surprise. Now, to further expand on that, Hubs put in the general's quarters, coaching staff didn't know he was coming. Because I first saw this, my thought was, okay, maybe they are trying to get this done before the spring game tomorrow. Maybe they're trying to get the deal worked out. That way they can announce it, whatever, and then we roll on and everything is fine. The fact that Hubs said the staff didn't know is where I am concerned.
That's exactly what I was going to say. I was fine with it. Even if he sit out today, fine with it. Didn't have a problem. I thought it was just all part of the business. And then as soon as he says surprised, that worried me. And then you find out, well, not just surprised for the media, is also the coaches were surprised. And then it even said, I don't know if it's this one, I can't quite read that there, but even the players, his teammates were surprised. That's when I started to sweat.
Yeah, because to me, if you're like, why are you missing practice, right? Why did you not show up today? And we don't know. And that's again the whole concerning thing here for me is Nico's dad is denying it. Nico's dad saying, this isn't happening. We're not in contract negotiations. And then the next morning, Nico's not at practice and nobody knows. Like that's something's going on.
Can you pull that back up? Did he say they're not negotiating, or they just didn't leak it? They didn't try to make it public, like they didn't try to put leverage on people.
Oh, so you're saying, okay, maybe I read that wrong. Let me go back and read the exact word.
Because I've read it like 2 or 3 times. I take it different ways.
So maybe I did read it wrong. Let me pull it back up. Let's because that could change my mind. That could change my mind too. Let's see. More games being played off the field than on. Pete Nakos called and asked me directly. I told him I had no idea what he's talking about. He said a close source that he trusts with his life from the university staff gave him this information.
Yeah, he did say he has no idea what's going on.
Right. So you can ask him what's going on because it ain't from us. So it kind of does read both ways. It kind of reads as this information's not coming from us, but it also sounds to me like I have no idea what you're talking about. I read that as we're not in contract negotiations.
That's what I did too on my first read. And then the more I keep thinking about it, I'm like, well, was he just saying like, it's business as usual, no big deal, but we weren't trying to make this a whole thing. We weren't trying to hold it over Tennessee's head or anything like that. It's just another day at the office kind of a thing.
This comment right here, y'all said this stuff was normal. What the F? Yes.
Yes.
I'm always going to shoot straight with you guys. I am always going to shoot straight with you guys. Last night, was I concerned? Was I worried? Did I think we were losing our quarterback? No, I wasn't, because contract negotiations are normal. Everything was normal. Even if they were trying to iron this out back in December and didn't get it done, and then we kind of move things forward and it's happening now. All that's normal. None of that concerns me. What concerns me is this drops from Pete Nakos last night. And then this morning, Nico's not at practice, and the coaches don't know about it. That's where the big red flag goes up. More information is coming along. That's what we do. That's the selling point of this channel. For the fans, by the fans. We're gonna react to the information. Can a guy get sick, not get sick and miss practice? Sure, he can, and he would tell his coaches that. Like that's Stephen. That's where my concern comes in, is because the coaches didn't know. Let me hit this super chat from Donovan. Dropping a 50 spot. We appreciate that, Donovan. We'll play the clip.
Money isn't everything. It's the only thing. And everyone has a price for the $1 million man.
Donovan for 50. That is very generous. I appreciate the super chat. My man says, been a Nico fan from the beginning, but I am done with him. I threw away my cup of him today. They paid him $2.2 million. Went to bat for him in NCAA allegations. Bye. See ya. I'm over it. Like Swain just said, you can't come back from this. That's heavy. The reason that's it's so hard, man. It's so hard when you got that connection, right? That like just the connection to the family. Like it's at the end of the day, it's a business. And I want all the facts to come out, right? But I shoot straight with you guys. Am I concerned? Am I worried? Yes, I am. I want the full story to play out. I want to see what happens. I want to see where we go from here. I do think missing practice is a bad look. It's a bad look. What are your thoughts on Donovan's super chat saying, I'm done. I'm walking away from Nico because of what's going on right now?
Man, I get it. I can't be mad at anybody for feeling that way. I'd like to get all the information first. We're all jumping the gun here just a little bit, but I mean, what else can we do? I mean, in 8 hours, things have just flipped. To me, last night, the super chat before that even brought it up. Last night, I did think everything's normal. And even this morning, I thought things were normal. Twitter's Twitter, Vol Twitter does its thing, but I still wasn't stressed. And then, literally, in the last 45 minutes, my whole opinion's flipped on its head. I'm not ready to toss Nico out the door by any means. I'm still here to support Nico as long as he's wearing the orange, but it just seems like the narrative is slightly starting to change. It seems like, okay, if you got people like Swain, I haven't seen the comment. I'm just going on the chat here. But if Swain said it's hard to come back from this, man, like you said, that's heavy. That's heavy. There's so many people, and I mean, man, it's just a bad look. I hope this is all overreaction. I really do.
MG Way accuses us of being an echo chamber. That's interesting.
You mean a fan? Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. We all come at it from our different perspectives, our different opinions. I'm more of an optimistic guy, and so are you and Coach Jay, and really Dobry is too. So that's probably why it comes off as an echo chamber. And Nate's a little more critical than probably we are. But Nate's going through some stuff. Can't be on the channel right now. He'll be back soon. Maybe it is an echo chamber, but I try to get your all's opinions too. I try to have straight conversations. Again, if this was an echo chamber and this was Team Nico and not Team Tennessee, I wouldn't be on here doing this live stream. I wouldn't be on here saying I don't like that he didn't show up at practice today. Coach Jay would be on here right now if he wasn't in an airplane. The last thing he sent to me, I should open my DMs just so people can read it. The last thing Coach Jay said to me is make it clear to the chat that no one player is bigger than the T. Nobody. So if Nico leaves, next man up, guess what? We're rolling with Jake. Let's go. Like that's just the reality of the situation. That's the reality of the situation.
If I was only Team Nico, I wouldn't be sweating. I would just be waiting for the next spot. If that's truly what's happening, I'll just be waiting for the next spot and cheering him on. But I'm sweating it because I'm a Tennessee fan. I want Nico to be here. I want to see Nico succeed here in Orange. So I mean, call me what you want to call me. I'm just a fan.
And I think Nico's the best option, right? Like I want Nico here because I think Nico is the best option at quarterback for 2025. I love hearing that Jake Merklinger's had a great spring, but that doesn't mean that Jake Merklinger is giving us the better option at quarterback, right? It's the same for George. Like the people that are out there saying, let's roll with George, like as a true freshman. We gonna roll with George as a true freshman when you got Nico that's going into his third year, going into his second year as a starter.
Well, I mean, we've heard nothing but good things out of Jake this spring. Everybody's bragged on Jake. Is he ready to go? Could he go? Probably, sure. But if Jake was the clear-cut number one right now, he would be number one. So obviously Nico's had the time, had a season under his belt. So I mean, the choice is clear for now. But now, if it's going to be Jake, let's suit up. Let's go. I'm going to support Jake all the way through.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. Here's the deal. If Nico transfers out, guess what? I ain't talking about him anymore. I'm not going to watch his games. I'm not like. I think he's a good kid. I really do. I think, man, his mom, like the stuff that he's done, like I think he's a good kid. I don't know. I don't know if there are people around him that are trying to make these decisions. I don't know if he has an agent that's trying to make these decisions and push. And that's the problem is we just don't know what's going on behind the scenes. Peyton K for 5 says, I bought a shirt from him. It was burnt orange. What kind of Vol would make that mistake? Maybe is he transferring to Texas, Peyton? Is he transferring to Texas? Is that what's going on here? All right, we got 320 people watching live. We're breaking down the Nico drama live. We had to jump on and do it live. Wanted to get your thoughts. Wanted to get your feelings. How are we feeling right now? Like, do you think he's gone? Do you think Nico is hitting the portal? Do you think he is not going to play Knoxville Predator Catcher member for 32 months? Nico's dad is toxic. Let's save some money and upgrade the line and the receiver. Slapping that sign means nothing to him. I get it, man. I get you guys have strong feelings, and I'm just not ready to say that yet. When I want to let it play out. I am a little concerned. I am. We'll see. I want to talk about this because we've talked about the contract negotiations that were out there. Again, if you're just now popping into the chat, Nico was not at practice today. Let me take that a step further. Nico was not at practice today. We know that. The next thing that came out was Nico did not let the coaches know that he was at practice today. So I'm still like, when the coaches thing came out, I started to kind of, panic a little bit. And then my response to most of you guys in the comment section, DMing with Foul Ming, DMing with Coach Jay, was hopefully they're trying to get this thing resolved today. Hopefully that's what it's all about. He's not on the practice field because he is in a meeting somewhere trying to get this resolved before tomorrow. Convenient. This is all dropping right before the spring game, right before the orange and white game. Right. Spoiler alert. Well, let me go ahead and say this. Then Brent Hubbs kind of follows it up and says that he doesn't think he'll even be at the spring game tomorrow. And that was my whole thing. If we can get this done, we can get this over with, and he's going to be at the spring game, we'll all forget about this before the fall rolls around. Now what's going to happen? He's not going to be at the spring game. Jake's going to ball out, and this fan base is going to be full cult of Jake. Cult of Jake. Any thoughts on that?
Well, that's exactly. I mean, this is just a pro game all over again. Like, no, this isn't unusual. This isn't unique to football. This is just unique to college football in recent years. I mean, players hold out all the time amid contract negotiations. Let's look at it from the player's perspective or his agency. If he goes out here and tweaks an ankle on Saturday, then all his leverage is gone. All his leverage is out the door over this contract. And I get it. You don't want to hold anything over Tennessee's head, but that's just the sport right now, man. Like we talked about it a little bit last night, but we're semi-pro. We're semi-pro right now with poor contracts. That's what we are. So if you want to, hold over Nico or his family or whoever's head, fine. But that they're just playing in the realm that's been created for them. But it's just semi-pro ball right now.
Kyle says, I don't think he was going to play in the orange and white game too much anyway. Yeah, but there's a difference in not playing too much because you're QB1 and you need to stay healthy. You're not going to show too much, and not showing up to the game period. If he is not at the game period, that is another step in me starting to say, I'm out. Let's go, Jake Merklinger. That's just the reality. Like I don't like that he missed practice today. You missed the spring game. I'm starting to lose my patience here. I'm starting to think this is a problem.
The reps, like missing practice today, missing the orange and white game bothers me from a fan perspective. Everybody's bringing their families out, kids out to see him play, things like that. May not be able to see a game in the fall. Like that aspect of it bothers me. But as far as him not getting reps or missing the game, as far as just playing time, that doesn't bother me. The part that starts raising flags for me is when you say, well, the coach didn't know. Now, if we're having active negotiations, nobody on the staff knew. I find that very hard to believe.
Yeah, exactly.
And if the staff's the one leaking this information, then how did the staff not know?
And now you're getting out the tinfoil hat. Now you're getting out the
Twitter.
tinfoil hat.
It's just Twitter rumors.
No. I like what you're saying because again, we're trying to look at this from a neutral perspective. If Nico's dad is putting out, I didn't leak this. I didn't put this out. That's not coming from our camp. Let's get into the contract negotiations. Let's pull up the contract article that came out from On3. They just put on Twitter right here. New Nico Iamaleava's reps wanted to see his NIL deal up to $4 million range before the winter portal closed. Chris Lowe reports. Tennessee officials said they weren't going to blink. So at what point is what you're saying, did Tennessee actually put this out there? Tennessee said, we need to know who our guy is. We're done. Because at this point, something's got to get done. Because the fan base, you can see it in the chat right now. You can see it on Vol Twitter. People are already turning on Nico. Donovan, that dropped a huge $50 super chat. I appreciate that. He's been Team Nico from jump. Did the Tennessee administration leak this to say, all right, I'm calling your bluff. Let's get this over with?
Exactly. I just find it hard to believe that nobody knew this was coming. And then I want to believe Nico's family that they wouldn't put this out there because this is nothing but bad publicity for Nico. Like there's nothing good coming out of this for Nico, I don't think. Other than, I mean, hopefully we get this deal done, but I don't see where he benefits at all. So I don't see his family leaking it. So as far as that comment goes, I believe Nico's dad. I don't think they put this out there. But that puts you in another bind because, okay, so who did put it out there? And if it is staff, who is that? And how did they hold it from the rest of the staff? Did one coach know and didn't say anything to Heupel, didn't say anything to any of his other staff? Like all this, something's off. Something's off here.
Knoxville Predator catcher for 10. In my opinion, you can't come back from this. Holdouts for money is one thing. Skipping practice is something else. He will lose the team, and so will Heupel if he allows this. And you kind of wonder, because I know we mentioned this last night too. I think we talked about this on air, or did you send it to me? There has been so much that's happened in the last 24 hours. I don't remember what we've said on air, what I've said DMing you, what I've said DMing Coach Jay, or what other people have just sent me. But there's a lot of quarterbacks or players that are showing love for Nico. There's a picture floating around Instagram, and George McIntyre just shared it. And it's, there are a lot of players showing support for Nico. But I mean, this could be an issue. Like, again, look at Ricky Gibson. And I was kind of the same way with him. I went scorched earth on, I shouldn't say that. I went pretty hard on him at first because of the difference, right? The difference of, okay, I signed my deal in December. I'm ready to roll. I'm ready to go play football. Let's go through spring camp. Let's go play fall camp. Let's go play ball in the fall. Let's roll. And then he came back after his teammate got hurt, right? That's where it was his teammate that he took advantage of. And I don't like that from Ricky Gibson. Ricky Gibson didn't miss practice. Ricky Gibson's still going through camp. And the reality of the situation, like we talked about last night, it's not necessarily the kid, it's the system. Because even after the second deal, Ricky Gibson can still hit the portal. He can still go.
Exactly. We brought that up last night. Let's say Nico signed it last night. It's no good today if he wanted to walk away. He can sign it today. He can walk away tomorrow. The contracts mean nothing at this point. But I just don't know how I want to go about this just yet. Like I'm still on the fence. You got to think like from a player's perspective, like or a teammate's perspective or a coach's perspective. Like if you're in Knoxville right now at the facility, like this media firestorm's going around, but how much is it affecting you day to day? I mean, players miss practice. Like that is a thing. It's his reasoning, whatever it may be, but I don't think he's going to lose the team necessarily or that's more of a fan thing, I think, than the team itself.
Spivey in the chat saying this is very, very toxic. Donnie says very toxic.
I agree. I mean, that's what we were talking about. This is not a good look. Like that's why I don't think number one, I don't think he needed to leak it to make this happen, but also I don't think he would because one, it's not been all over his social media. And two, what does he gain from this? So, and the fact that his teammates are rallying to him, like, I love to see that, man. I want to hold out. I want to hold out and say, maybe bad turn of phrase there, but I want to hold hope and think that this is all just going to blow over. It's just another step in the process. And maybe we have some ill feelings on Saturday as a fan base moving forward. But by fall, I think we can all get right back on the ship and get back to work.
Yeah. I'm like you.
I feel like I'm jumping it. If I say anything over the top, I feel like I'm jumping the gun a little bit.
Right. Kyle says negotiations have been going on for weeks now. Negotiations were going on all the way back. Let's go through this article because that kind of, again, the negotiations here, we see the $4 million deal. Tennessee officials said they weren't going to blink. There's so many layers to this. And just you talking about who leaked it is such a big thing. It's like, why did they leak it? Because it's 2025, man. Just look at the last 24 hours. I went from sitting in carpool line, sending you a screenshot, to us having a conversation, to we got to go live tonight, to waking up and just it continues to grow. And that's the power of social media. And now everybody out there saying this is a bad look. This is toxic. This isn't good. Did Nico's agent do it because he's trying to put the pressure on Tennessee and say, hey, we'll walk. Because guess what? If Nico walks, he's going to get paid. And somebody in the chat said another team offered him $4.5 million. Is that the case? Maybe. We don't know. That's the hard part. And that's why we're kind of all over the place and torn and don't know how to come at this because we don't have all the facts. Now, it's easy to go to Twitter and just say, screw Nico. I hate Nico. It's easy to go to Twitter and say, I'm team Nico and put the one up. None of us. We all want Nico to be him. We wanted Nico to win a Heisman. We wanted Nico to win a Natty. Why? Because we love Tennessee football. If Nico walks, let's go, Jake. Let's roll. Next man up. Let's go take a look at this article. And because there's talks about the contract in the chat right now. Let me pull the article up. Again, this is from On3. And that's the funny thing is people saying they hate On3. But if you look at it, Pete Nakos was right. Right? I mean, I don't like the way that he put transfer portal in there, but here we are.
I think that's key. Negotiations, sure, fair, say that. That's the article. Why do you got to throw that transfer thing in there if there's no smoke? If there's no, why did he feel the need to put the transfer thing in there? I know that's just the landscape of the sport right now, and you think one goes with the other, but not necessarily.
Little Spooky, been a member for 29 months. Shout out, Little Spooky. Appreciate you, my man. Appreciate the support. We got 418 people watching live right now on this Friday afternoon edition of Talkin VAWLS. If this is your first time ever on the channel, if you're watching on Facebook Live, whatever the case may be, come to YouTube, Talkin VAWLS Network. Smash that thumbs up down there below the video. Y'all can do that. It's quick, free, and easy. Helps the channel. If it's your first time here and you're like, who are these two knuckleheads? Why are they man, they're kind of acting like me. They're just talking nonsense. They're emotional. They don't know how to feel, and this is how I feel right now. That's because we are exactly what you guys are. This channel is built by fans. It's for the fans, by the fans. We react. We don't have that inside scoop. We don't know, so we're speculating the same as you guys. So if you like it, make sure you subscribe, click the bell for notifications. We do live streams. We talk recruiting. We talk Tennessee football every day of the year. During the season, we do a post-game show. So you can be emotional and react. We drown our sorrows of loss, or we celebrate the victories. It's a good time. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you're dialed in. We appreciate you hanging out with us on this Friday morning. Tony Swanson becomes a member of the channel. Shout out, Tony. We appreciate you, my man. Thank you so much for the support. These random live streams like this don't exist without those memberships, so we appreciate it. Let's see. Let's go through the article here. Nico Iamaleava negotiations. Tennessee quarterback NIL demands. Vols stance revealed. See, you got to wonder where this comes from, right? Like who is telling the truth? We get on here and speculate, but when you work for On3, when you work for a national company, like what like who is this factual? Like where are you getting this? ESPN insider Chris Lowe revealed representation for Tennessee redshirt sophomore quarterback Nico Iamaleava originally sought to increase his deal to $4 million range just before the end of winter transfer portal. But the Volunteer officials were not going to blink. So we sweep it under the rug and we let several months go by. And now here we are right before the portal window opens. Like, do you think, like, go back to that. Like, let's rewind time to December when Mike Matthews' deal was going on, when Boo's deal, Aaron Carter kind of behind the scenes was talked about a little bit. Nico was mentioned. There was talk of tampering with Nico, but come to find out he was going through contract negotiations then and just nothing got done. And there was a lot of talk that wasn't happening. Nico didn't sign a new deal, but the contract negotiations were taking place. All the talk was Nico wanted people around him. Nico wanted to know what the offensive line was going to look like. Nico wanted to know what the wide receiver room was going to look like. Like what are your thoughts on that, if any of that makes sense?
Well, it's all about timing, right? Like at that point, I was sweating it more then than I am now. I mean, I know that's hard to say, but back if he were to want to transfer then you can really get with another team, get in another program, go through spring ball. Like, I don't think this timing benefits anybody, Nico or the team. What are you going to do? Like, after spring ball, jump in and try to be QB1 somewhere else? Could he find a spot? Absolutely. He's plenty talented enough to find a spot and get all the money he wants. But what kind of season are you going to have jumping in, trying to get chemistry with new players, trying to get chemistry with an offensive coordinator, a head coach? I mean, I just don't. The timing of it makes me think Nico wants to be here.
Peyton said, where are you getting this, Peyton? Peyton's here all the time. Appreciate Peyton, but I'm just trying to figure out where are you getting this? Because you're saying he did sign a new deal and that now he wants more, but that's not what's being reported. Like, that's not what VolQuest has reported. That's not what's in this article. It's saying that he wanted that deal but didn't get it. So I don't understand where you're getting. If you're getting that as factual information, tell me where you got it. If you're just going with internet rumor, that doesn't mean nothing to me, because it sounds like he did not sign a contract back in December. According to VolQuest, Austin Price, Iamaleava was absent from Friday's spring practice amid ongoing negotiations with Tennessee to amid. Okay, I thought he was. Never mind. To amend the original NI deal, he signed as a 5-star in the 2023 signing class. See, this was the conversation we had last night. Like, he's still on that 2023 deal. Like, he didn't sign a contract. So talk about that. Do you still, if you can remember some of the numbers from last night, like, where do you think he fits in? If Nico's wanting the $4 million range, do you think he's still worth that? Because the conversation we had last night, we were all kind of in agreement that where he was at was, he deserved a little bump, but do you feel like he's worth the $4 million? Do you think he's that type of quarterback based on the numbers we went over?
Do I think he's worth that to us right now? Yes. Because you can't just say just the player. I mean, it's the whole thing. It's the whole, like, you're going to rip out QB1, move on to another guy, like the whole chemistry of the whole thing, the leader of your team. Like, I think that's the leverage. It's not just your play. But just looking at the list, if he goes to $4 million, that would put him third on the list of NIL earning quarterbacks. But like, we didn't get to this last night, but if you go down the list and look at freshmen, like, he is at the top, right? So Is he worth it because of his age and then because of how many years he's going to have? And the next thing is like, are we going to do this every year? That would change my opinion also. If you're saying, hey, give him the $4 million, let's get this done, move forward. We got a quarterback for the next 1 to 2 years, fine. But if you're going to say, okay, well, December rolls around, we got to do this again. And then next spring rolls around, we got to do this again. If you told me now that's the case, that would change my opinion. But if you said, hey, we can get this, give him $4 million, lock it in, and we're good, we're ready to roll, I say push the button, sign the man. But there's a lot of unknowns in there, and I know that.
Brent says Nico leaves, we end up 7-5, and the fan base loses their minds again. That's 100%, and that's something else Coach Jay said when we were texting right before we went live. Coach said, make sure everybody knows that the T is bigger than any one player. And it's like, I know what Coach is going to do. He's going to get on this channel, and he's going to be behind Jake Merklinger. That's because he's a Tennessee fan first and foremost. Does he have the connection to the family? Yes, but he's a Tennessee fan. That's so he's going to get on, and we're going to talk about Jake, and we're going to be critical of Jake when we need to be. We're going to support Jake. We're going to pull for Jake. But he also said this next season's going to be tanked. And here's the problem. Like that you talking about, Nico's your leader. He's the guy. Like, it's so much bigger than just, we're just losing a player. Like you want Nico to take a step, right? We've been talking about growth and how he's a redshirt freshman, and we want him to take a step and be improved and move on. He has the opportunity to do that in 2025, but not only that, but then you've got Jake continuing to grow. Look at the step Jake made between his freshman and now sophomore year. They're talking that he changed his throwing mechanics, that he had a great spring. That's awesome. You still don't want him starting instead of Nico. And then behind him, you got George as a freshman. Another year. Let's say this now he takes that step the same way that Jake did. So then we're going into 2026. Jake's going into year 3. George is going into year 2, and you got Faison Brandon coming in as a freshman. Like, ultimately, what I wanted, what I would like to see, and I think most Tennessee fans too, is Nico to continue to improve and continue to get better. And then let's have a huge quarterback competition in 2027 where Jake is a senior at that point. George has a few years in the system. Faison Brandon comes into town. Man, oh man, we're off to the races. But instead, we're going to rush and start Jake a year early, 2 years early.
That's the part I hate. I think we have plenty of talent in that room. I think those guys are plenty talented enough to take over the reins. It's just a matter of like you're throwing a wrench in the process. We're going step by step by step, moving from Nico and on down, and we're just now kind of getting under our feet where we got depth, and Coach can kind of bring players up at the pace he wants to bring them up. So and then just to throw this in there. Why would Nico invite out wide receivers to California to get timing, get chemistry, and build all that for this season just to turn around and want to leave? I just don't think any of this points to Nico wanting to leave. Now, does that mean he won't? Absolutely not. But I don't think that's the goal here. I think we need to just sign the check and move on. I mean, I get it. I get it. Hate me, hate the system if you want to, but that's just the world we live in. If we want to continue at this climb that Tennessee's been on, we're held over a fire. It is what it is. Sign a check.
I think ultimately Nico wants to be here.
I do too.
This whole situation, this whole thing, it puts a little negativity on him, right? It's like it's a reason for people to turn on him. It's a reason for
And I don't fault anybody for doing that, man. I see some of your comments here. I'm trying to keep up with it. I don't disagree with most of you. Like, I don't disagree with you fully. I get it. You have plenty of reason to be mad right now.
I'm afraid what we want is gone forever, right? NIL is here, and NIL is here to stay. What we want is Deshaun Bishop. Man. That's what I want is Deshaun Bishop. Like, we sat here Wednesday night and watched the clips of that kid, and people say nobody wants to play for the Power team anymore. Nobody is loyal anymore. Deshaun Bishop is, and if you missed his appearance with the media, go back and give it a watch, because Deshaun Bishop's talking about, I had a full ride. I had an opportunity at Coastal Carolina. He said a lot of people around me wanted me to go to Coastal Carolina, but I wanted to play for the University of Tennessee. So he walked on, and he earned that spot, and he put the work in, and that dude always delivers. I think Hubs calls him Mr. Tennessee scrimmage. Like every time they come out of a scrimmage, we're talking about Deshaun Bishop.
Yeah,
now let's say this. What happens if Deshaun Bishop goes out this year, balls out? What if he's running back number one? What if he puts Peyton Lewis in the dust? He puts Star Thomas in the dust. He goes out and runs for 1,200, 1,300 yards, 12 touchdowns. What do you think Deshaun Bishop's going to do? What do you think we're going to be hearing in the offseason about Deshaun Bishop, right? It's the world we live in.
Yeah, I think, and again, I think that's a unique case because I don't think that's necessarily that kid's nature, but this is the world we live in. So that kid's going to have an agent. He's going to have pressure, and he's going to have to get paid. I mean, that's where we're at. This isn't unique to Tennessee. I know it is for us because we're in it. We're all Tennessee fans. We're diehard. We're going to overreact, underreact, however you want to put it. But that's college football right now. It just is, man. This is just, I think the reason this is coming out the way it is it's just such poor timing. It's just such poor timing.
MG Way says that we're being very kind to Nico. But let me ask you this though, MG Way. Like when have you ever seen me or I mean maybe some people on this channel, but go after a player? Like I think we're being very fair. I think we're being critical. I think we're talking honest about this situation. But I'm never going to come on this channel and just absolutely destroy a kid. That's just not who I am. That's not what this channel is. That's not what I'm about. Like I'm never going to destroy a kid, particularly when we're talking about, college football in 2025, when it's the world of NIL and unlimited free agency. Like I said earlier today, maybe in a comment on Facebook, Nico's doing what every other quarterback in the country is doing. He's doing the exact same thing. The only problem is it was made public by whatever side for whatever reason, whether it be the Tennessee side did it for leverage to say, hey, we don't think you're leaving, so we're putting this out here so we can get this freaking over with. Or the Nico side is doing it to say, hey, our ears are open. You want to call? We're listening. Give us a call. We're listening. You got money? It's very easy to tamper in 2025. All it takes is picking up the phone, calling an old coach. That coach calls Nico or Nico's dad. A lot of relationships there. And then all of a sudden it's, four. And it's magical that the numbers are out there now too, right? He wanted 4. Oh, down here in Miami, sitting in my yacht, I got 4.5. You want to come to Miami? Oh, I'm out here in Cali at USC, sitting on the yacht with Coach Jay. We got $5 million. You want to come out here? All of a sudden, that opens up the opportunities, right? Opens up the opportunities.
And the fact he's still here says something. I mean, regardless of how you feel in this moment, I mean, this is a 24-hour whirlwind, but he's still here. He could have done that in December if that's really what he wanted to do. And he actually would have set himself up better for this upcoming season if he had done so.
Something else that Hub said that just kind of came to my mind, it's like you saying that he's still here is a good thing. Hub said something along the lines of maybe something opened up. Maybe there's an opportunity that wasn't available in the spring. Again, that's speculation. We just don't know. We don't know what is going on behind the scenes. I'm going to catch up with you guys. Some of y'all being very generous with Super Chats. I appreciate that. We got a lot of people watching on this Friday afternoon edition of Talkin Vols Live. So many that we have 450 people watching live, and 90 of you have taken the time to hit that thumbs up. If you are watching, and you may disagree, you may be like MG Way thinking that, man, y'all are being too kind. I disagree. That's what this channel is all about. We disagree all the time. We argue. We keep it civil. That's what the channel's about. If you kind of like what we're doing, and there's a whole cast of characters that rolls through here. The X Factor, good old Nate Pruitt's in the chat. Coach Jay's always hanging out. Dauber's here. We got a family, and we roll through and we talk Tennessee football every single day. So if you kind of like it, think about subscribing. And smash that thumbs up. It helps the channel. It lets people know. It plays the algorithm game of YouTube, and I would greatly appreciate that. R. John Cena, 54, has been a member of this channel for 29 months. We appreciate your support, my friend. Knoxville Predator Catcher, 5. What if we pay Nico $4 million and he doesn't have Samson to rely on and we still tank? How does that look on these coaches? Well, it's not a one-man game, right? Like I get that. Like this football team last year lived on DSAMP and defense. That's how we went 10-2 and got to the college football playoff. But Nico, it's not like it reminds me of what I said of Joe his last year. Like, you going to bench Nico? Like, Joe never did anything to deserve being benched. And I kind of kept saying that all year long. It was like, well, Joe's not lost us any games, but he didn't go out there and single-handedly win us any games either. Like what are you going to do? Bench Nico? But yeah, I mean, it's what you're saying, Knoxville Predator Catcher, is it's all about the money, right? And how many times have I said if we didn't know that he made $8 million, then we wouldn't be as critical. If we didn't know he was a 5-star, we wouldn't be as critical. If we didn't know he was the number 1 player in the country, we wouldn't be as critical. We would talk about how a redshirt freshman came in and managed the offense and was successful enough to get us to a college football playoff.
Well, and we're basing this off coach evaluations, right? Like the QB1 at Tennessee is going to get paid regardless. It could be Nico, it could be anybody, it could be Jake, it could be whoever you want to draw off the street. They're going to get paid, and they could tank. They absolutely could tank. You're 100% right, KPC. Like you, there's no guarantees here, but you're going to pay somebody. But if you want to be QB1 at Tennessee, regardless of the kid, they have agents. They're going to get paid. So. Like, I don't disagree with him at all. We could tank, but that's the gamble we're taking, and you're gambling on does Coach Heupel pick the right guy?
What's up, Robbie? Sure, the demon rolling in going, what is going on? Well, let me give you the summary. You saw the live stream last night. On 3 puts it out. Contract negotiations. They mentioned the word transfer portal. Everything is fine and dandy until we wake up this morning and Nico was not at practice. We still didn't panic. Maybe he's going through those contract negotiations before he shows up at the spring game tomorrow. Nope, that's not the case. The coaching staff did not know that Nico was going to miss practice. There was no communication there. Well, we take it a step further. Brent Hubbs has kind of posted on the general's quarters over at VolQuest and says that he doesn't think he'll be at the spring game tomorrow. And that is concerning. You want to take it a step further. What caused the panic when I flipped the switch and said, foul me? I can call you Culberson. I call you Culberson on here all the time. That's why I paused, because I was about to say Culberson, then I was like, foul me? We got a problem, because Hubbs said he doesn't think this gets resolved. That freaks me out. That scares me. That's what makes me think we got a problem on our hands. That's why we fired up the live stream to come on here and talk to you guys. And let me continue to catch up. Dylan for 10. Everyone saying, see you later, Nico. Like it's no big deal. Don't understand the chain reaction to the rest of the roster this would cause. Mike Matthews, etc. Do you think we have that to fear? Do you think if Nico pops in the spring portal that there's going to be some others that follow, or are they going to? They've seen what Jake's done in practice. Do you think they just buckle up that helmet and go play for Jake? Jake has an opportunity to become a Tennessee legend if this goes down and he's QB1.
That's absolutely true. But I worry. I think if Nico jumps, people will jump with him. I just think that's the nature of the beast. I don't know if they'll follow him necessarily, but you talk about opening up a can of worms. I mean, and we talked about earlier, like that absolutely could happen. Anybody on the roster could walk tomorrow at any point. I think with the timing, it's less likely, because you got to get in a new system, find your way in a new system, get chemistry with your teammates and coaches, like we talked about. But man, I don't want to go down that road. But you talk about legend, Jake would be an absolute legend.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Nico transfers out. Jake comes in, QB1, leads us to the playoff, wins an SEC championship. Dude, I don't know. Like I've always been high on Jake. I just wish he had more time to develop, more time in the system.
And this negatively impacts Jake too, believe it or not, because now you're pushing him up a year quicker than he may be ready to go. Like, all things are positive from camp, but I mean, you just pushed his entire progression up a year. And then what's this do for recruiting? We haven't even talked about that yet. What's this do for recruiting? How's this impact the recruits that were coming here to play with Nico?
Yeah, I mean, that's a good question. The good thing is, again, we're always going to have a room full of quarterbacks, right? Jake is not a pushover. He wasn't the 5-star, but who like, how are you going to get a 5-star right after Nico, right? So, but Jake was still a blue chip, man, highly rated 4-star prospect. George should have been a 5-star. Sorry he didn't throw enough for you guys in T-shirts and shorts. Should have been a 5-star. And then Faison Brandon. Like that to me is Faison Brandon. Gosh, this sounds like I'm just totally spitting on Jake and George, but to me, the transition is Nico to Faison. Like, that's why I thought you had Nico here for 2 more years. Faison would be going into his redshirt freshman year. And I mean, I think, of course, we thought it about Nico, and it still could be true about Nico. I think Faison Brandon's going to be something special. So it just, in the top of StreamYard, it shows me like likes. It shows like when a Facebook like comes in. Shout out Tyler Coggins. He put an angry face. I don't know if he's mad at us or mad at Nico, but it made me laugh because all of a sudden this little pissed off face is now flashing on the screen up there. But it shows me who too. I didn't even know that. So shout out Tyler. I'm sorry that you're mad.
Let's go down that road for a second. In the scenario, Nico, absolute perfect scenario. After we lose a Nico, that's not a perfect scenario. But if we do and Jake balls out and does all the things you just said, what's going to happen next spring? You're going to pay him.
Yep.
It doesn't matter. I mean, like, and then we said, well, okay, what's a great season? 10-3 to the playoffs. So if Jake went 10-3 and got you to the playoffs, is that worth getting paid? I mean, I think we're dancing around the simple fact that you're gonna pay somebody.
If you, Jeffrey, I'm sorry, but if you think that nobody was coming here to play with Nico, you're crazy. Everybody wants to play for an elite quarterback. Nico is a big part of the reason why Mike Matthews was sticking around. Like, Nico made an impact, man. Nico made an impact when he committed to Tennessee. So I did.
Well, look what happened in December. As soon as there was a question, just a question, the slightest rumor that Nico may think about going somewhere else, what Mike Matthews do?
Right. And that's
that
why,
answers our question right there.
But you kind of talked about that side of it. Like if he leaves and other guys are going to follow, Mike Matthews, whoever, what if he gets the $4 million? What if they pony up and pay the $4 million? What does Boo Carter do? What does Mike Matthews do? What do some of these other guys that signed their deals and now they look over and go, why is he getting that? And I get it. It's you want to compare it to pro football. It's the same thing. The quarterback's always going to be the highest paid guy on the team.
That's it. That's exactly it. I think the guys know, like, each position's money value, like it or not, is different. And they're going to definitely get everything they can get. That's just the nature of the beast. But I think even the players around him know the quarterback position is just looked at different.
Let me continue to catch up with you guys. Good old Nate Pruitt. What's up, Nate, for 5? Man, I'm a Tennessee fan, number one. If it's Nico, let's ride. If it's not, let's ride. You're either a Vol or you're not, through thick and thin.
Make the decision. You're either a Vol or you're not, through thick and thin.
That's why we're doing this live stream, man, because we care more about Tennessee than we do Nico. I'm sorry. It is what it is. Somebody commented earlier and said this channel's always going to defend Nico. We did last night. I don't think I'm sitting here defending Nico now. I don't like this situation that we're in, but I'm still waiting on everything to come out. If this is resolved, whether they pay him or they don't, and he's a quarterback, guess what? I'm going to be wearing my 8 hat, my 8 jersey, watching Nico sling the rock. I think he's going to – I hope this gets worked out. I am concerned when Brent Hubbs says he doesn't think it's going to get worked out. What do you – oh, my gosh. I just refreshed Hubbs rumblings about USC having interest. That makes sense. USC and Miami are the teams that make sense. Let me get through these super chats real quick. Ron the Don for 5. Oh my gosh, I wake up and again the bets heads are falling off. No worries, fellas. We will be okay. Door fee. Thank you, Ron the Don. Appreciate the super chat, my man. Jeff has been a member for 12 months. Says GBO Nico stay in. Jared for 2. If he walks, others will follow. No doubt about it.
But I think USC is the only school that really stresses me because of location, right? Nico's such a big family guy. I mean, it wouldn't be the furthest stretch to say if it puts him closer to family. And we don't know what his family situation is. There could be something going on. I don't know.
Do we think it's time Tennessee hires a GM to handle these negotiations? Well, I mean, they kind of do. I mean, that's what Spire is. They handle the negotiations. Obviously, Josh Heupel's involved. The coaches are involved, what they want. But as far as when it comes to money, and that's why, we can read that article. We can know, obviously, Josh Heupel and Nico are close, right? Like there's no question about that. But at the end of the day, it's about business. It's about money. Like, what if Josh Heupel took another job? Does that mean that he suddenly doesn't care about Nico? No, that's not the case. It's business. It's business.
And I mean, we've said it, but like talking about defending these kids or defending these players, I'm going to defend whoever puts on the orange until they give me a reason not to. Are we leaning towards that? Absolutely. I mean, I don't know if he's going to be wearing orange, but as long as he's still rocking the orange, I'm going to back him. When he walks out the door, fine. See you later. I'll rock with who puts the jersey on, man.
Let's do this. Let's pull up the schedule real quick. Got it on the screen there. Let's say Nico walks, and it's the Jake Merklinger show, redshirt freshman, the gunslinger. You look at the schedule. Let's go through it step by step. Syracuse. With Nico, it's a dub. With Jake, I think it's still a dub.
I feel good there.
ETSU, obviously a dub. Georgia.
There you go.
I think it could be a loss either way. Like, let's just be honest. Like, I'm having a hard time calling that game as a win.
The fact that it's at home is your ace in the hole, right? But I'm with you. I think, I mean, we can go down the line with the schedule here. I don't want to jump ahead, but like, I think regardless of who's there, it's going to be the 3 games we've talked about for the last 6 months.
I'm scrolling through Twitter real quick to see if there's anything breaking coming out while we're live. Yeah, I mean, I think the big challenges, if it was Jake next year, is going to be the road games, right? Like we've said it over and over and over. If we're going to have a special year in 2025, you got to do something that you've not done. That's beat Georgia, period. That's beat Alabama on the road, and it's beat Florida on the road. It's going to be tough for Jake to go into those environments where, you know, Nico been there, done that. Nico's seen that. That's the hard part for me, is seeing Jake go into those environments.
It's just a reset. It's a full reset, because it's the same as when Nico came in last year. Yes, he'd been in the system, he'd been around it, but he hadn't started yet. So it's the same scenario all over again. That's why it's such a blow, because you had Nico go through it for a year. He started for a year. Now we're building on year 2. If he walks out the door, Jake, with all the talent in the world, coming in year 1, it's still year 1 as a starter, no matter who. If Nico walks out, whoever walks in the door or whoever suits up at QB1, it's their first year as a starter, and that puts us behind. You bring up those games, like are the majority of those still a dub? I think so. This is still a team sport, but you did take a step backwards. It doesn't matter the talent level. It's not bashing those guys in the room. It's just a step back from experience.
I like the point you made about depth. It's like, we have been fighting to build depth on this roster for so long, and people leave comments saying, when's he ever going to get depth? And gosh, you just have to look what he took over. Josh Heupel couldn't just walk. Like I've said it before. If Josh Heupel wasn't the guy, if he left tomorrow, the dude coming in after him has it way easier than he had taken over what he took over from Pruitt. So it took some time to start to build that depth because of the struggle to recruit early. And now we're finally getting to the point that you're seeing you're reaping the rewards of that. Like talking about the offensive line and hearing that Max Anderson had a good spring, hearing that Bennett Warren had a good spring, hearing that some of these guys are ready to contribute and they're in the 2 deep, right? It's no longer, well, thank God this guy had a good spring because he's going to be a starter. When you're hearing these backups, that's when you really start to build depth. And now if Nico does leave, then we lost that. Let's go. I want to go to Twitter real quick. This is probably a disaster. I hope I don't run into something stupid. So I searched Nico. On Twitter. The top tweet that pops up here, Sullen Serp. I think it's a good time to post this. Nico is Tennessee's quarterback. Awesome. If he's not, I'll be cheering for whoever is. I like that. Clay Travis, not my call, but with Nico no showing at practice, I'd cut bait. You can't have a team leader this immature, really poor decision by his family. Whatever he makes in college is a pinprick of what he could make in the NFL one day if he matures into a pro quarterback. I don't know. I have weird thoughts about that. I know a lot of people make statements like that. Like, how is it my business to argue what Nico makes, right? How is it my business? Like, how much is too much? How much is enough? Like, it's weird counting somebody else's bank account. But I do agree in some of the things of what he's saying there. Like, if you're a leader, then let's take what we take and let's go play football versus holding out for every little penny.
Right, and then we're still guessing. It's been 24 hours. We don't know what Nico's doing. We don't know what he's telling his teammates. Obviously from social media, they're backing him. So I don't feel like they've lost that. As far as like what he's going to make in the NFL, that's the only thing. You're a play away from never playing in the NFL. I'm not going to count how much you're worth. That's not up to me. That's up to On3 or whoever wants to do it. But as far as what you're going to make down the road, that's where you kind of have to go, well, look at that Ohio State game when he got his helmet busted open. What if he gets a neck injury right there, never plays again? Can we say, well, he would have made this? But that's where a good contract, insurance, all that comes into play.
Somebody said, MG Way, clearly the staff thinks it's too much. You know, this comes back to, we talk about player evaluations for high school kids, for portal kids. It's the same here. Like, you got to make a decision. Is Nico worth this money? Like, that's why Josh Heupel gets paid what he gets paid, because he has to make those decisions. Let's see here. Let's scroll on.
Yeah, I mean, I can get on here and argue what he's worth or not worth. Like, what's my opinion compared to Josh Heupel's opinion? Like, let's take Heupel's evaluation. If he says it's too much, it's too much. If he says it's worth it, it's worth it. I'll take his opinion over mine.
This is funny. whoever this guy is, Nico is not leaving. He's not threatening to leave. He will be our quarterback one. Y'all need to calm down and stop trusting misleading headlines. Boy, that sounds like me 22 hours ago.
22 hours ago. What a 22 hours can make.
Oh my gosh, how quickly things have changed. I thought this was a good tweet from you go ahead with what you were going to say, then we'll hit.
No, I was just saying that it's just the Hubs comment. None of this changed any of my opinion until the Hubs comment. Like I think Hubs knows what he's talking about. I think he's on the end. I don't think he would ever spread rumors just for the sake of spreading rumors. So when Hubs said, I don't think this gets worked out, now I'm stressed.
Right. And it's just been this build, right? It's just been this just starting from last night. Contract negotiations, you throw that buzzword transfer portal in there, that freaks a lot of people out. Then you wake up this morning, you see the comments from Nico's dad. I'm like, okay, I got to make a video about this. You see the comments from whatever the guy, I can't remember, is it Cordell Landers, close family friend. And it's like, all right, I'm going to make a video and talk about this. My mindset really hadn't changed since the night before. But then for me, the first step of concern was missing practice. And even still, I've found a way to validate that. But then it's missing practice and the coach is not knowing. And then it just continues to build. And then when
Hubs, layer after layer after layer.
Yes. And when Hub said he doesn't think he'll be at the spring game, that's when I was like, he's gone. Like I truly, I don't know that this gets worked out because, and again, Hub saying the exact phrase, I'm like, all right. How does this get resolved? Jacob says it won't let me change my level of membership. It should. Do you know how to do that, Falming?
I think you should be able to click over there on the memberships and just go straight from there. But I'm on an Android phone, so it might be different for iPhone.
If you're on an iPhone, the way you do it is you take the iPhone, you walk over to the trash can, you put it in the garbage, and you go get an Android, and then that'll fix it. Gabriel says if he's not there tomorrow, he's gone. Real estate investor Nico is putting Tennessee in a bad spot. Nico is not handling this right. I just wish it wasn't public, man. I wish it wasn't public, but that kind of leads to this right here, Shumpert. Tennessee fans were largely very supportive and defensive of Nico when he didn't play up to his billing last season. We'll see what ends up happening, but if he returns, it's hard to see things not being super toxic and negative towards him. A true PR disaster. That is well thought out, and that is spot on if Nico returns. I think a lot of people are not going to forget this, and they're not going to let it go.
I respect Nico for never putting all this stuff out on his social media. Like, he does a really good job of not making this a thing. But at this point, cat's a little out of the bag. I wouldn't hate to see just a little sign from him, just something to calm everybody down, and that really shine with his leadership and take a hold of this situation. Because like it or not, QB1 is the face of the team. When you talk about any team in the country, first thing you think about, well, who's their QB1? So if you want to steer the ship, give us a little nudge that everything's going to be all right, or put up the deuces and say, hey, man, I loved you while you were here. Got to go. It's just business, and I can respect that, but I wouldn't hate to see just a little sign of something from our QB1.
Gabriel says we're going to go from Cult of 8 to Haterade. No, we're going to make a Cult of Jake shirt is what we're going to do here on the Talkin VAWLS Network. These are some pretty spot on tweets. Austin Brown, if he gets $4 million, Nico's family isn't going to like how things get if the offense underperforms and drops the Georgia game. Like all of this stuff, the $8 million was one thing. Like that's why Shumpert's tweet, man, I saw a lot of negativity towards Nico last year. And maybe it's because of the connection and Coach Jay and all of that stuff. Maybe that's why we saw more of it. But if he gets this $4 million, like this fan base is on fire right now. We had like 12 people watching us on Wednesday night. Now we got 523 watching in the middle of the day on a Friday because people care and people are taking notice. People are paying attention, and they're going to hold Nico to that when the season rolls around.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, and correct me here if I'm wrong, or correct me, Chad, if you know, wasn't his deal, didn't it work out to be like 1.9 a season? Is that how that worked?
I think it was 2.2.
Was it up to 2.2? I saw 1.9 figured something. Maybe that was what they're paying him, and then with the endorsements and stuff, it bumped up to 2.2. I'm not sure. But regardless, like if he's at that, we could read off like we did last night, the top 10 or whatever. That doesn't just – the 2.1 would not even put him in the middle of the top 10. Like, that would put him below everybody. That would put him below Bryce Underwood at Michigan, who's not even played yet. That'd put it – I mean, So I don't necessarily like 4 puts him right up at the top. It puts him third, but I don't hate anywhere in the middle. Like, I mean, we go down the stats, QBR, all that stuff, take our opinions, our emotions out of it for just a second while we take a breath here. And that puts him in the middle. Almost all of his stats, he's somewhere trending towards the top or toward the middle, but 2 puts him at the bottom. So I don't think we can argue that the 8 million because we keep hearing the number 8.
Mm-hmm.
Funny how that works, but the number 8 for 8 million, and it's not 8 million, it's the 2 million, and that puts him well below a lot of guys that you could argue didn't perform as well as he did.
Man, so many people in the chat. Nico not worth all this money. Ain't worth it. Ain't worth it. Ain't worth it. But what if he is?
We don't.
What if he gets? We don't. We truly don't know. There's so many layers to that conversation, right? About Nico.
And we're grading last year's performance, and I don't care, who it is, what quarterback it is. Pick any SEC quarterback that started last year. You don't think he's going to improve at all this year? I mean, I just think that's a bad take to say what he's worth, because we don't know. We like in December, come on here and say, laugh in my face and be like, "Yep, wasn't worth it." I'm like, well, maybe not. If we go out here and it's the same product as last year or worse, then I'm like, okay, yeah, we shouldn't have paid him more money. But I just don't think that's the case. I don't see how a kid of his caliber and a coach of the caliber of Josh Heupel, there's no improvement. I just don't see that.
Corey says you can't pay for what you think you'll do. You kind of have to. You kind of have to. It's kind of the world we live in. Like, look at recruiting right now, right? Like, David Sanders got a big fat NIL deal. Is he worth it? You got to take that. That goes back to player evaluations. And even with this right here, Josh Heupel has to sit down with Spire, and he has to make the decision if Nico is worth it or not. So you really do kind of have to pay that money.
Well, do freshmen get paid when they sign? We're based on what we think they'll do.
Right.
When Nico signed his $8 million, I mean, we paid him for what we thought he would do. It's just that's the game right now.
This is the fun of doing I love these type of live streams because it is very interactive with you guys in the chat. Just roll with McIntyre this year. So you want to roll a true freshman out there that's been on campus for just a handful of months? Like you think that, like, if we're gonna roll with anybody, we're gonna roll with Jake Merklinger, right? We're gonna roll with Jake Merklinger. PZ, this is kind of funny because I did say this. He's an Alabama fan, I think, but I'll give you credit. I told Culberson right before we went live, I was like, oh, Nakos was right.
Yeah. Well, I told you the already post, but okay. So my next question, since we're living in speculation world, how would the fans and how would the fan base, media, whoever, how would they judge Jake in his first year as a starter? Would they hold him over the fire just like they would Nico?
Nope. Jake's going to be the hero.
Same scenario.
Yep. If Nico leaves, Jake Merklinger is going to be the kid with the golden arm. He is going to be the greatest player in the history of Tennessee football.
Until when?
Until he's not.
Until the first pick or the first loss or the first time he says, I'm QB1, now pay me QB1 money. Yeah. And it may not even be him. I'm not putting that on Jake at all. But I'm just saying, like, the people around him, his agent, whoever that may be, it's just going to repeat itself. I don't think if it's truly just money, I keep going back to it. You're going to pay somebody.
Connor Wilkerson says, give me a 30-second recap of what in the heck is going on. I think I nailed it pretty good earlier. So we'll do it again because we got almost 600 people watching. The chat continues to grow. Y'all do something crazy. I have no idea how long we're staying live. Me and Culberson are supposed to be on the road driving to Knoxville right now, but we're doing a live stream. We had to jump on here and hang out with you guys. Share this out. If we get to 750 people, that's a big number. We get to 750 people watching live, I'll give away a free Talkin VAWLS t-shirt. If you like Talkin VAWLS and want to support, you can go to bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS. We just rolled out brand new Nike dry fit legacy caps, trucker hats, bucket hats. We've also got Talkin VAWLS Nike merch, dry fit, Nike club fleece pullover, Quality stuff, man. Got these in the mail this week. Good stuff. We got some golf polos, quarter zips, whatever you want. We've got obscene shirts that say Buck Fama and FUGA. If you don't want to be offensive, we got shirts that say beat Florida, beat Georgia, beat Bama. Whatever you want, it's there. Bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS. If we get to 750 people watching live, we will give away a free shirt. 30-second rundown of what's going on. Well, we did the live stream last night, because On3 put out that Nico and Tennessee were in contract negotiations. That's not a big deal. The bottom of that said, it's unknown at this point if he will enter the transfer portal. We all said that was clickbait and BS. And look, it was. It really was. It's not really even a surprise that Nico is in contract negotiations, because every quarterback in the country is doing that. Nico did not sign a new deal back in December, so that got swept under the rug and pushed, and now that's what they're trying to do, is get the deal done. So why are we on here? Why are we panicking? Well, there was talk about who leaked the information. Did Nico's camp leak the information? Did Tennessee leak the information? We find out the information is Nico's camp wants $4 million. Tennessee is saying, we're not paying $4 million. As all this starts to come out publicly, Nico's not at practice this morning. Still not a big deal. Maybe they're trying to get it done before the orange and white game. Didn't tell the coaches. So the coaches were never told that he was not going to be at practice. So that is a problem. Now, Brett Hubbs is talking over on the general's quarters and says he doesn't see Nico being at the spring game tomorrow. And it continues to escalate. And when Hubbs said, I don't know that this gets done, that's when panic has set in. So that's why we are gathered here together for an emergency live stream to talk about it. Aquatic Ghost for 5, his performance in the playoff game, the grit and toughness he showed worth the money in my book. Let's take that. And there's a few super chats here that I'll come back to, but continue to share the link out. Make sure you smash the thumbs up. And if you're new, subscribe and come hang out with us. I think he's worth the money. Like, I think we should pay him the $4 million. I think we should pay him what he wants, get this done, and let's get back to work. I think it's too crucial for all the things that we've been talking about for the last 20 to 30 minutes, the domino effect, the guys that are leaving, Jake having to start a year early. I pay him.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm repeating myself, so y'all that have been here the whole time, you've already heard me say this, but if you factor in the whole thing, the chemistry with his players, with his teammates, the chemistry with his coaches, the chemistry even being on campus, being in that setting, you're going to rip out your leader at the last moment. It's not just about performance for me. I think Nico's plenty talented. Nico has the arm talent. I'm not worried about that. Some of y'all might agree or disagree with me on that. That's fine. I think he has the talent, but I think ripping out your leader just post spring practice, I think that alone makes me lean towards, like, is the number slightly off from what we wanted to pay? I don't know, but if it is, the intangibles that go along with it make me say, sign the check.
Hey, Landon, I respect your opinion, but if you're just going to come in the chat and call me an idiot, you're probably on the wrong show. And I'll just leave it at that. Why can you not just voice your opinion? Why do you got to come in? You're an idiot. God, it's so lazy. It's so lazy. If you want to disagree with me, fine. But isn't it funny, though, having that conversation? And again, I want to get to your all super chats. We're going to do that in just a second. But having that conversation when it's recruiting, when it's getting a guy in the portal, it's always drop that bag, spend that cash, spend that money. But then when it's one of ours doing the same thing, it's, oh, screw him. He's not a teammate. He's a loser, blah, blah. Like, it's a two-way street here. When you say drop the bag, sometimes that's on our side of the fence.
Well, you got a guy that's already in place and showing you he can play. Like, why? These comments are going back and forth. Like, we don't want to pay a guy for what he might be able to do, but now we don't want to pay a guy for what he did. I don't know which way you want to lean that way. And then apparently we can lose chemistry with the entire team in one day. So all the stuff Nico's done, all the practices, all the leadership, everything up until this point, and don't listen to me. Don't take my opinion. Look at what his teammates say about him. Look at what they're posting or what they say about him. Like, if maybe we can lose it all in one day. Maybe I'm completely wrong on that.
Hold on a second here.
I got caught up in the comments here.
No, it was good. It was good. It was good conversation. And I'm doing the same thing. I'm reading the comments, and somebody said Nico's dad shut down all the room. That's old. That is outdated by now.
That was the first layer of the onion this morning.
Yeah,
and now we're about all the layers deep. But we may find out it's totally legit, man. What if we find out that it was a reasonable ask, or what if we find out that he's got some family stuff going on and needs to leave.
Yeah.
I don't think it's the timing for me, man. Like if it was just money, why today? Why not December? Why did they want to wait and see the team develop around him? Do they want to wait and see what we picked up in the portal? And now they're saying, well, that wasn't good enough. What we got in the portal wasn't good enough. Is that even an argument? I don't know. Did they want to keep him and get the portal players and then let him walk? Say, would you at least wait another 2 months? You know, I don't know. There's so many ways we could attack this, and it's 100% speculation. And I have no idea because I'm not in Knoxville like I should be right now. But
I'm so far behind.
I mean, yeah. I mean, we're just throwing stuff at the wall to see what sticks. But that's all we have right now.
I saw somebody in the chat say pay him. You earn your money, get your money, get yours. I think it was Corey that said it. Get your money, but do it the right way. Well, what's the right way? Like it could be the right way had it not leaked to the public. And that's what we're probably never going to know. Was it Nico's camp? Was it Tennessee's camp? We're never going to know who gave that information to Pete Nakos to make it public. But I think Nico's family may have been doing it the right way, right?
Right. Like what if I told you at the beginning of the week on Thursday, Nico's going to sign his new deal. Nobody's going to talk about it. Nobody's going to say anything. Nobody posts anything about it. We don't know about it until after the game Saturday. We come on here Sunday and say, oh, by the way, after the spring game, Nico renegotiated his contract and signed a deal. Would anybody say anything? No. I don't think we would have this fire. It's just the fact of the way it came out. So almost the fact that Nico's family or Nico did it the right way by not saying anything, that almost bit them, right? By letting somebody else spill the beans, right? Like, what if he'd got in front of it and said, "Hey, this is coming up, no big deal, don't stress, guys, it's just business." I don't think we would have had this reaction. But the fact that Nakos, I mean, love him, hate him, he's doing his job, right? If he doesn't put a link out there, I mean, I know he's took it on the shins today, and maybe rightfully so. But like if he didn't put it out there, I don't think this becomes such a thing.
Right. God,
it would have been under the rug, business as usual. Like everybody been hats off to Nico for not making it a big deal. And we got to step back for a second. Look, he didn't make it a big deal. He still hasn't. We're making it a big deal. Right. The media is making it a big deal. Pete Nakos is making it a big deal, and it is becoming a big deal. But he didn't put it out there that way. He didn't go to social media and be like, "All right, screw you, pay me." He didn't make that post. He didn't do any of that stuff. So I maybe I'm just on the wrong side of the fence here, but I can't. I kind of want to go to bat for him until he stabs me in the back, and then I'll come on here and be like, dude, he stabbed me in the back, man. Like, can you believe? Like, he screwed us all. Like, you know, that's fine. That's all fine, but it hasn't happened yet. Like, we can't go there yet.
Does this affect the sprint? Yes, it greatly affects. This affects everything. This affects everything. Who's drinking Kool-Aid? I don't know. Some people roll in the chat and they hear one thing and start going off. I get. We've been talking for an hour and 17 minutes.
I'm a fan. I'm gonna drink the Kool-Aid forever. Yeah. I'm forever. Like, that's how this works. Big orange Kool-Aid. Sign me up.
I see this. Y'all just gonna go down with the Nico ship. No, like, go back and listen to the whole show. I think that's the hard part of doing what we do is it's like somebody tunes in for 3 seconds. Here's one maybe comment that we make, and then it's like they're gonna ride and die with Nico. Well, they're gonna be Miami fans.
Like, I'm trying to throw every angle at it and let you pick one. Like I'm just throwing darts at the wall. I don't know which one's factual. These are about 50 different ways you could take this. I'm gonna throw all of them that I think of at you and make of it what you want.
I think this has been I think the fans needed this. I think the fans needed somewhere to come and talk, and they could voice their opinions. And there's been so many good thoughts coming just through the regular chat. I'm still trying to catch up with super chats, but I saw somebody talk about the locker room. How does this impact the locker room? And sometimes I don't know. Like, I made this statement on the golf course when I was talking about Ricky Gibson, and I was saying I probably went a little too hard in the paint on him. And I was like, I pointed at one of my buddies and I was like, how would you feel if we were teammates, let's you and I play this scenario. We're teammates. You play corner on one side. We're probably tackles. You play left tackle. I play right.
I played a little DN back in the day.
Whatever. You play corner. I play corner. We're the starting
Right.
corners, right? And it's you sign your deal, and I sign my deal. Make me Ricky Gibson. I sign my deal.
Mm-hmm.
We both sign our deals December. We're fired up. We're in the same room. We're studying the same film. Like we're brothers. You go down with a knee injury. And then all of a sudden you see on Twitter that I'm holding out for a new deal. Like, how do you take that? Or are me and you behind the scenes, you're going, dude, I'm hurt. Take advantage of it. Get your bag. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I think you're spot on right there. I'm going to say, dude, do what you got to do, man. If this make the best of a bad situation as far as me and you are concerned. I mean, I know that's not what everybody would want to hear from a fan perspective, but like, why would that doesn't affect me at all unless, but we can take it a step further. I mean, if you're cornerback 1 and I'm cornerback 2, and then we go out on practice field and I get 2 picks today and you get 1, all of a sudden, do I want your money? Do I go, well, right. I outperformed it today in practice. So am I worth more money? So I mean, we could do this all day long.
I'm going to catch up with Super Chats because there's been so many good regular comments that I've let these guys, I've hung them out to dry, and Joseph Harris dropped a 20 spot, and that is a very generous Super Chat, and I appreciate that. And around here on the Talkin VAWLS Network, we love the color orange, and if you drop an orange-themed Super Chat for $20, we're going to play the clip.
Rocky Top, you'll always be.
If he is gone, then bye-bye. Where is he going? What team? This won't make his draft stock go up. That goes back to what you said earlier. I don't think this is going to set him up for success. Like, what's your end goal? Like, he could still go somewhere and be successful, but you're going into year 2 as a starter at Tennessee, year 3 in the playbook. You go to Miami, you go somewhere else. Like, you got to learn it all in the summer. You're going to be in the playbook in the summer and then go through fall camp, and then you're going to be the starter. Like, you are not setting yourself up for a good 2025 season.
Exactly. I mean, is he talented enough to still go and play ball and win games? Absolutely, but you're not going to be at the level you'd be if you stayed in the system you already know, set with the guys you already have chemistry with. It's just not apples to apples there.
Right. Appreciate that. Joe's a very generous super chat. Brandon Hall for 10. Appreciate that. We will love Merck until he runs out of bounds with the game on the line with no time on the clock and receivers in the end zone. Then maybe we will say, okay, that was not good. Merck Slinger. At least we can laugh about it, right?
You have to.
Shout out, Brandon. Appreciate the super chat, my friend. Christian becomes a member of the channel. Appreciate that support. If you're not a member, you can get a power T beside your name. Hit that join button down below. You are what makes these Friday afternoon live streams happen. Otherwise, I would be working for the man. Instead, me and Foul Ming are on here talking with 624 of our closest friends. You guys keep sharing it. We get to 750. We're giving away some free merch. Matthew Watson for 2. I'm late. Is the practice article fake? GBO. I think we already clarified that. No, he did not show up at practice, and he did not inform the coaches of that. Okay, Jackson for 5. Hey, Boogie, let's all step back and realize the level of overreaction, fake rage. We would bully Jake as a QB. We'll all be there on Saturdays. That's pretty spot on. I mean,
yep.
But how many times, like, so many quarterbacks in history that we hated on. I've defended so many quarterbacks. I loved Casey Clausen. A lot of people hated on that guy. And now it's like, man, I would kill to have Casey Clausen, Eric Ainge. So many quarterbacks come and go. We eat them alive, chew them up, spit them out, and then we love them after they're gone. Ethan Maxwell for 5. I'm about him getting his money, but who carried us? Was it our defense or Sampson? Why so last minute? I would love to see him stay. I mean, yeah, the defense and Sampson did carry this football team in 2025. I mean, that's spot on and accurate. Matthew Watson for 2. No-showed practice. Can we get our money back? Ron the Don for 5. Starting a GoFundMe for pillows, so when the pets' heads fall off, they land softly with love on a pillow. GBO. Let's go. Big Orange. Shout out Ron the Don. RS for 5. In today's game, it's pay to play. Ohio State just won a natty with one of the most expensive rosters. It is what it is. If you want to win, it costs money. Well, that goes back to the conversation we just had. We want to spend that money on guys in the portal, on wide receivers in the portal, on any sexy name that enters the portal. You're going to see the comment section filled with drop the bag. But now that it's our own and there's a possibility of him leaving, he's not worth it. Good riddance. We don't want you. I don't get it.
Well, you got to lean on Hop's evaluation. Like, we don't have it yet. We don't have his take on this spin or on this topic. But if he says he's worth it, he's worth it. If he don't think he's worth it, then maybe he's not worth it. Like we talk about D linemen all the time, and if Coach Rodney Garner wants them, then I want them. So if Hop, same principle applies. If Hop wants him, if Hop wants to spend that money, I mean, we talk about a GM. Well, Hop's managing this roster, right? I would hope so. So he's got to balance the books too. So if Nico's his guy and he says he's worth $4 million, it's right back to the same old thing. Sign a check. That's why he's our coach.
That's why he gets paid what he gets paid.
Exactly.
I did not anticipate us being live for an hour and a half, but here we are now. Well, I can't wrap the show. We got more Desolation Destination for 10. Get an extra appetizer tonight. See you tomorrow. Thank you, Desolation Destination. Yeah, we are going to be hanging out at Calhoun's tonight. Myself, Coach Jay, Foul Ming, Coach Jay's son's going to be there. The X Factor is going to be there. I don't know who all is going to come out, and I don't know how that's going to work. I'm like, Coach Jay, I didn't do this like he did. He's like, I'm going to be at this restaurant. Come see me. It's like, what do you just get a table for 42? Like, I have no idea what to anticipate tonight, but we are going to be having dinner and drinks at Calhoun's. And then tomorrow, orange and white game, we will be in the G10 parking garage bright and early, hopefully up there on the top. Come hang out with us. Come say hello. We'll continue this conversation. I'm excited to talk to Coach Jay. He's been in a plane the entire day. Like he texted me when he left. And it's like he's my spouse or something. Texted me when he left, and then he texted me during his layover to let me know that they were on time. But we've not got to talk a whole lot about what's going on. I'm sure his phone is blown up.
I was going to say, could you imagine his phone when he lands?
Mine's going nuts right now, and I'm trying to keep it clear.
I got 47 notifications along the top that I can't look at yet. But as soon as Coach hits the ground, could you imagine? Like you leave California and thinking, well, little smoke, but we're all good. And then you land on this side of the country. All of a sudden, the world's upside down.
Oh my gosh. I had to text X because X was supposed to be here like in an hour. And I'm like, I still got to go to the grocery store. I got to take a shower. Like I got so much crap I have to do, but,
I haven't even packed. I was going to pack. I was trying to start to pack. I was getting ready and then Boog's like, we got to go. And I'm like, I'm throwing on the war helmet and I'm like, all right, let's do this thing. We'll be at Calhoun's at some point. We need to add that into the sentence. We'll be there at some point, maybe.
Is he an idiot too, Landon? Is Coach Jay an idiot too? Coach Jay actually said to make sure the chat knew that nobody is bigger than the Power T. Coach Jay is a Tennessee fan first and foremost. Jay Roger for 5 says, who was the source that said the coaches didn't know he was going to miss practice? Just curious. That was Pete. What's his name from ESPN? Pete Thamel. Pete Thamel.
Yeah, Pete Thamel and I think Hubs both said that, right?
Yeah. So that has been confirmed. And here's some more confirmation from Robert for 10. Says, right or wrong, his decision to skip practice tells us where his head is at and his value of the locker room. The optics are really bad on both sides. I agree. I mean, this situation sucks. I mean, it sucks. This is not what I wanted to be talking about the day before the orange and white game, man. Like, this is not – but it is what it is, man. It's college football in 2025. We had to talk about it. That's why we jumped on and talked about it. If you haven't smashed the thumbs up, make sure you do that on the way out the door. We would appreciate it. It takes you 2 seconds to hit that thumbs up. If you're new here, appreciate you tuning in, hanging out with me and Foul Ming. Make sure you are subscribed and dialed in. Sunday night, I'm going live at 6:30 p.m. Eastern time. We'll talk about all the drama. We'll see what's going on. I will be in Knoxville tonight, back tomorrow after the orange and white game. So if something breaks, I'll be talking to you guys on Twitter and social media. If we got to break out a phone in the rental property down there in Knoxville, you never say never. We'll see what happens. But that's going to do it for this one. For Foul Ming, my name is Boogie Bentley. This is the Talkin VAWLS Network. Go Big Orange.
That we call home, and it's night and I'm alone and